And we are back with another episode of Tales from the Riff. Joining me in studio, we got the LA Phantoms.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yes, sir.
all the way down, introduce yourself, sir.
Jason Birdman Landry, guitars and backup.
Cutty saw bass, co-vocals.
Hell yeah.
I do what I can do. I play the drums and shit.
He does. He really does.
Are you really good at the drums?
A little bit. I've been
A little
practicing.
bit? Been practicing?
Yeah.
So, man, LA Phantoms has been around for quite some time in the Lafayette area.
2001.
2001. So, man, let's just get into it. Tell me how it all came to be.
Let's see. We were playing on the tail end of Mystic Fix, meaning it was me and Cutty and Chris and Luke Duke, and we're playing with Chris and Mystic Fix, and we did a few shows, and we took a little break from gigging, and we were writing or working on new material. And as we was doing that, Chris was telling me, he's like, I don't want to go on as Mystic Fix. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, I don't want to go on.
It gained so much momentum. Why would you want to use that moniker?
Exactly,
Right.
Exactly. But he told me, he's like, man, we kind of got a bad name in Lafayette. And I'd actually like to branch out to playing more like of rock and roll.
The notorious
Instead of
Mystic Fix.
Yeah. Instead of just being, pigeonholed in as a punk rock band.
Yeah.
She's like, if we played rock and roll, we could get into better venues and a bigger audience and shit like that. So this was 2001. So we let's see. I don't know what happened. I think what happened with you and Chris?
Me and Chris had a love-hate relationship, so to say.
Yeah.
We a lot of personal issues that happened in the past. More than one that I really don't rather not discuss on here.
Yeah, that's fine.
But it was, I don't know, me and Chris just had our third or fourth falling out. And because of that matter, it was kind of mutual. We just kind of gave each other dirty looks and walked away. We still loved each other, but we gave each other dirty looks and walked away. So.
You're right.
But I left and
Luke took over on bass.
Yeah. As far as band, as far as
Right.
band history. We're not going that far back now, right?
So then that was the beginning of the LA Phantoms. It's like Chris came up with the name. We could be the LA Phantoms, Louisiana Phantoms. I'm on drums. Chris is playing guitar and singing. Luke Duke on bass.
Mm-hmm.
So we recorded an album, and right around the time we started recording the album, we got a guy to play harmonica. So lead harmonica, kind of like an Electric Worry.
Yeah.
Something like that styling of harmonica.
Like Clutch before it was Clutch.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So then we recorded a couple of we recorded our first release, and then we did a 3-song EP after that. But then we lost Luke. He couldn't commute. He lived in Lake Charles. We lived over here,
Right.
So he couldn't commute. So we got another guy to play bass, Damian Miller. So Damian Miller was on bass, and Damian used to be a door-to-door salesman. So like as a actual living as a job.
Yeah.
He was a door-to-door salesman. So he was silver-tongued, So he got us we started getting bigger shows and like more money making shows,
Right.
With Damian, pushing the band. And then so this was like 2001 to 2004, 2005, like around about halfway somewhere in like 2002, we started like going out of state, gigging in Houston and Austin, San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
We was already previously playing in New Orleans and Lake Charles, and then we started playing in Baton Rouge, and like we started expanding to bigger cities along the way. And see, that was 2001, 2004, 2005. We only one of us had a day job.
Oh yeah, who was that?
Rocky Hair, Creosote Jones from Cheetah Pipe.
Oh,
He was playing second guitar. So we didn't have no day job. We were just rock and roll hustling and
living the dream.
Living the dream, right? Well, eventually, three guys seeing each other every day, and we both a bunch of knuckleheads,
Mm-hmm.
So we started having problems, and then kind of fell apart. And then bam, here comes, a hurricane. I guess it was Katrina.
Katrina at the time.
What
yeah.
year was that?
That was 2005.
2005. So that was the end of it right there. 2005, Katrina.
And Rita hit
And
right.
then Rita hit
behind
right
it.
after. Correct. So that was the end of it for a little while. Then we regrouped with James Val. Got on bass. James Val was the original guitarist for
Mystic Fix.
Mystic Fix, right. So he was the original guitarist for Mystic Fix. We got him playing guitar in the LA Phantoms. He played second guitar, Rocky played first guitar, and Chris played bass. So we went on for about another year, like that. And then my wife got sick, and she became terminal. So like I couldn't leave. I couldn't go down the road. So I had to, quit the band and go back to work, go back to the day job deal. And then she died.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
First Chris died.
Yeah, Chris died in 2007.
Damn.
So actually that year I was going to a funeral every other month.
Yeah,
like,
Damien passed away like
Damien
2 months after Chris did. Chris passed in June. Damien passed in August.
Wow.
Like probably a month and a half, 2 months later.
Wow.
Chris passed on the 11th. My birthday was on the 12th. So they called me on the following day on my birthday. I get a call. Chris passed away. I was
Man,
like,
that's
I was
rough.
like, don't fuck with me, man. They're like, I'm not kidding, dude. So I'm like, so I called. Yeah, he passed. But that was a horrible year right there. Like, my dad passed, my uncle passed, my best friend passed, Damien passed, a couple of my schoolmates passed, and then my wife passed. So in the year, every other month, I went to a funeral.
Man, that right there, just that part of your story, like that is grounds for just giving up. But that was
right.
Like the average guy, man, going through that amount of loss is just
it's traumatizing.
It's traumatizing. Exactly. Thank you.
That man had severe loss within that time period. So right after that, Chris just kind of got with Marconomicon, and they restarted Mystic Fix because he had songs written for that particular formula, so it worked with that formula. So he got back with him, and they recruited Shitty Shane on bass and James Val on guitar. That was a good lineup.
Yeah.
Visually and because Shitty Shane was a
showman.
Yeah, very much.
I remember seeing Shitty Shane playing live with
the Sid Vicious of the McKinley Street Strip. Absolutely.
That's perfect description, man.
And they started and played a slew of shows for about 2 years? About a year and a half?
Yeah, about a little over a year. Yeah.
And then in June, Chris passed.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
Just when they were gaining momentum.
Right. That's just wild. And like how soon after that did y'all get back together?
So Chris passed in June. When Chris passed, before Chris passed, he gave me a cassette tape that he recorded, like a little 4-track cassette demo tape, and he gave it to me because Mark was leaving the band. So whatever, I don't know the exact details, but Mark was leaving the band, so he asked me to play drums. I was like, fuck yeah, I love Mystic Fix. So gave me the cassette, learned these songs. Learned the songs. We were supposed to go record these songs with Jonathan Gilbert and Karen Crow. He had a little, did a little distribution deal.
Yeah, I remember that.
Record with him, and he puts out your record. So this was scheduled to go down. So I learned all these songs, and then Chris passed away. So like, oh shit. Well, so they were like, man, we need money. We're trying to raise money for Chris's funeral expenses. We were thinking about doing some gigs and doing some benefit shows to, pay for his burial.
Yeah,
tribute memorial
right thing to do.
Yeah, like tribute memorial to gain a lot of money for a headstone, for the funeral itself. And just maybe a little something, for his son.
His son, yeah. And so they asked me, I was like, oh yeah, 100%. I've been rehearsing these songs. So then we started getting together, we rehearsed, and we played a few shows like that. And then we were like, oh, let's keep rocking and rolling. Yeah. So we kept doing it under the name Switchblade Click. My wife was singing. So my wife was singing, Shitty Shane on bass, James Val on guitar. Shane flaked out. We got Cutty. At the same time we got Cutty, we got Ronnie Famous.
Right.
Come in on guitar.
The infamous Ronnie Famous. Love that dude.
Famous. Yeah, yeah. So we did that for a few years, but then my wife, she had heart complications, and she had to have a valve replacement surgery. So she had the valve replacement surgery, and then when she came back, like, we tried to get back on the road like that, but her health was she couldn't take staying out late and drinking in bars and shit like that. So
Right.
it started affecting her health. So we had to pull back. But in the meantime, like she was pregnant and so like the 9 months she was pregnant, we weren't gigging. So I was writing new music. So like I was writing new music to where it was going to go on whenever she, had our baby. We'd have came back with this new music, recorded it and started gigging. And so, but the thing is, like, it's punk rock songs, but like I like the Exploited, I like the Misfits, Suicidal Tendencies. She liked like the Ramones, the
Yeah.
Sex Pistols. So like, and the Cramps and stuff like that. So like our flavors was a little different. So when I showed her the music that I wrote, she was like, I don't really like that. So like, okay. But my boy Ronnie, who's playing guitar, he liked it. He liked all the same bands I like. He liked the Exploited, So I pulled him on the side. I was like, Ronnie, come check out. So I did a little demo. I let him hear it. It's like, what you think about that? He's like, oh, I fucking love that.
Yeah.
So then me and him started another band with a cat named James Ferratu from like The Good Captain and By Moore, right? And then we did that for a few years, and then we went through like 20 members, and like people would fall off, and eventually he quit. We got a new singer, and then that fell apart. So after that fell apart, I just went back to work and working like 7 days a week, and I didn't have time to play music. But then,
Yeah, I mean that's a grind, man.
right.
Like it's everything that we do over here in the Gulf Coast. It's just like 7 and 7, 14 and 14,
Right.
or like 28 and 7, or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And and depending on the company you're working for, you can be real lucky if you see that time off.
Right. Right. I was working 7 days a week. I was making like 70 to 80 hours a week. So I didn't have time to play music. And then finally it broke and we got a little slack, at work to where I could start playing music again. And then, see how this went down. I met up with Luke Duke at a choke show in Lake Charles. And Luke was still rebuilding his house from the hurricane. Well, when I met up with him at the choke show, he told me, Mac, I just finished my studio. I'm starting to record some songs, some music. So I'm like, cool, man. He was like, would you like to come over? I was like, fuck yeah, I'd like to come over. So after Choke finished, now Luke used to play with Choke. He played bass with Choke for a while, and then whenever they went to Japan, he couldn't leave and travel to Japan to go on the tour. So they got another guy to play bass, guy from Houston. And so after they got that guy, he stayed on with them. They didn't, Luke didn't get back in the band. So after the show, man, he looked at me. He's like, man, Mac, I really miss being on stage.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, me too.
Let's get it going.
Let's get it going. So we started recording some songs. And then I took a picture of, us in the studio and posted it to social media. And then Tracy McGinnis from Choke said,
What's going on here?
What's going on here? Y'all want to play some shows?
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah. So we postponed the recording, played a handful of shows, and then Luke doesn't really like to gig, There's different type of musicians. This cat likes to record. He's an engineer. He likes to write music.
Doesn't like to travel too much.
Right. Myself, I love every aspect of it. I love writing music, rehearsing, traveling, promotion.
Absolutely.
I like having both.
It's the funnest kind of work.
Yeah, right.
I mean, if you want to even call it that, it's not a day of work if you love what you're doing.
There you go. There you go. So whenever he didn't want to gig, at the time I was going to see my believe it or not, my mailman had a band, and so my mailman had a band. So we started going check out my mailman's band, and Birdman was playing guitar, and Lonnie was playing drums, and
Thunderkiss we're talking about.
Yeah, and I'm friends with I'm friends with these people, yada, yada, yada. Their band breaks up and I call somebody and it's like, hey, you think, what's Jason doing? You think he would like to join up with us? And she was like, well, if I give him a call and find out.
Yeah.
So I was like, I texted him, I was like, man, would you like joining our band? He was like, well, send me some of the material. So I shot him the material, like, fuck yeah.
Bam, enter Birdman.
Bam, enter Birdman.
Well, I got a little complaint now because
Go ahead.
I don't remember you telling me that Thundercuts broke up, man.
I guess I don't know. I guess everybody just knew. It's one of them things where you just move on and you don't,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't remember you talking about it. Because you had the new house coming. You I know there was something you were moving from
Bunkie.
the Bunkie area into
where my wife's from.
Into Opelousas.
Yeah.
And you got a good old boy from Delco living right next to you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a coincidence.
Right, man.
Most high school friend, my neighbor.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
Just a wild shit.
Like that. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. It's just one of them things where you don't make a big deal about it. It's just like, okay, let's move on to something else. We didn't announce it. We didn't. In fact, the Thunder Kiss Facebook page is still up. I don't know. We just didn't make a big deal about it. We didn't. So, yeah. So then that's when Mac had messaged me and he was like, you want to play some guitar? And I was like, okay, send me some stuff. And he sent it to me. I was like, that's cool. I said, well, do you need just a fill-in for a show or something? And he was like, no, man, we need a guitar player.
Need a guy.
So I said, well, send me some stuff. So I checked it out, dug it, man. It had like a punk rock, but kind of souped up AC/DC feel to a lot of the stuff, which I thought was
that's right in your wheelhouse.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. So I learned a few of the songs, and then Mac was like, man, you want to come over Saturday? And I was like, well, I'd like to be a little more prepared than that. And he didn't realize that I lived in Bunkie.
I didn't know how far he lived.
Yeah.
But
He's in Kaplan, by the way.
Okay. I'm in Kaplan. Okay. So I also wanted to tell Luke about it. I didn't want to be scheming behind Luke's back. But I couldn't tell Luke until we had solidified this, in stone. And so that's why I was like, well, come over. So finally when he came over and we rehearsed and I was like, how you feel about that? He's like, yeah, I'm feeling it. It's like, are we all good? All right. Then I was able to call Luke and say, look, we're looking into getting another guitarist, which we just did. So, cause we want a gig. And he was like, no, I understand. He's like, I don't want a gig. So he gave us our blessing with it and
smooth transition.
Absolutely. And then he still gets on stage with us from time to time.
Yeah.
When we play in Lake Charles, he usually gets up on stage with us. And he came to a Lafayette show. We just opened for Anti-Scene. And I didn't think he'd be able to make it. He showed
I just want to take a moment to give my boy Jason some flowers right now because he is one of the guys who actually inspired me to fucking pick up the guitar. And I told you this before. Because before we go back a long way, me and Birdman. Probably since 1999, I'd say.
Yeah.
I met him at a friend of mine's house, and he said, "Yeah, man, he's in a band." At the time, he was in Graveyard Blues, and I mean, I just knew that this dude was he became one of my local idols when it came to guitar. He's
a wizard.
He's a goddamn wizard.
Best fucking guitarist I've ever worked with.
You know what I'm saying? And he's so easygoing, and plus, every time he's been the number one supporter of this fucking podcast that we're on right now.
Where's my T-shirt?
I got one for you. In fact, every time there is a release, he is one of the first to fucking repost, share, and love it. So thank you so much, brother. I love you for that.
Well, Mr. Soleil, I'm just happy to be in the business. Thank you.
Very professional. I like
very professional.
Right.
Very diplomatic. Yes,
yeah.
Well, I appreciate it, Mo. That
was another key selling point to asking him to be in the band, was because I knew him from Soul Dredge.
Yeah.
I knew him from the scene. From what I knew, he was an easygoing guy. I did a little background check on him and for some people, and they were like, this dude has no. I was like, what kind of problems this dude has? It's like, this dude has no problems.
No.
I was like, okay, that's what we're looking for.
I keep him a secret.
Most musicians have some type of problem.
Man, I would just go to his old place in Youngsville when he was still a single man, and he would just have everything. He had the house that I wanted. Yeah. He had the guitars, he had the freaking amps and all his rigs and CDs. Right. It's because of this, man, I know who the fuck Sleep is. I'll never forget that. Forget that. He put on fucking Holy Mountain, and I was just fucking hooked. I was dude, I still jam From Beyond at least twice a day.
Classic, man.
Hell yeah.
Classic. Yeah, the good old days.
Fucking right,
Now
man.
we got the new good days.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's like even better. We're doing it when we're 40.
Older but
40.
wiser.
Yeah.
Wait. Who's 40?
I'm 40. I'm 40.
I'm actually 44. So
I just turned
Dang,
41.
bro.
there you go.
Ah, okay.
There you go.
I'm not gonna say mine.
That would make me 39. I fucking wish.
They bought it at the store when the lady asked for my birth date to buy beer. I tell her 84.
There you go.
Yeah, she's like, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I never get that shit. I look like the gray beard. I look like in a pot belly. I look like a fucking garden gnome. So they just know straight up. Oh yeah, you must be
Oh,
like
yeah.
60.
Yeah.
I'm fucking 49, bitch. I don't say that. I don't want to. We don't want
Don't want to offend the lady handing
to.
you the beer.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So whenever Bird got in the band, like, did y'all feel like anything was possible with the sound?
Yes. Yes. That's exactly how we felt. How did you know?
I just had a feeling.
You're right. Definitely. And I mean, if I requested, like, I was like, man, could you throw a little wah in that lead? Oh yeah. Throw it down right now.
Exactly how you imagine it. Too.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly how you imagine it. It just runs right through his fucking head beautifully.
And we didn't start writing music together yet either. I'm really looking forward to that. And so we worked like we were talking about earlier. I moved to Opelousas, and we're still working on the house. But once I'm gonna have like a little jam room / studio, and then we can hang out and throw down. Right now, we're doing like all the older songs, the LA Phantoms and some of the Mystic Fix songs. But I'm looking forward to start writing too. That's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Myself.
And now that I got you in the on the podcast, finally, it got you in front of a microphone.
We've been talking about this for how long, Mo?
Dude,
since you started.
3 years.
Finally here.
And it's wild. Like 3 years has gone like that, dude.
Yeah.
Like I'm kind of amazed that it's, people are following it. People are looking at it, and listening. So it's kind of wild.
Well, you're the only one, really. I mean, not the only one, but you're bringing a lot of the history and the local stuff where it's more accessible for people to learn about and see it. So
because growing up, we had the radio, but we had one show. I keep mentioning this from time to time. Dave Hubble, he
rest
had
in peace.
Rest in peace, Dave. He is another one, posthumously, he helped ignite my idea of just having a show that just curtails to everything local, Louisiana, first and foremost, everything extreme, everything that's like not heard, and just go from there.
He was a big advocate of all the local bands. He had a little venue for Lafayette toys.
Yeah.
Cool. You'd find the coolest stuff in there.
Dude, yes.
I mean, I found the first. Well, actually, it was 2 of the Super Joint Ritual demos in there.
I remember that.
Like together. I still got it on a CD, and it sounds terrible, but it's still awesome.
Yeah, dude. It's so much story to that, and dude, like whenever you came into my life, I was just so interested in like knowing about you. So like now I can get it on record. Like, how long have you been playing guitar?
I started when I was 16, I believe 17, and I'm 52 right now.
You don't look a day over 40.
Oh man, you're too kind. But yeah,
you're a handsome boy.
So that's what, like 30 something years, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't math me.
I'm not gonna math you.
Yeah. So around 30 something years. Yeah.
And what was the first song? I probably have an idea, but who was the first artist that made you want to like pick up that guitar?
Okay, so my mom, growing up, always had music on, and she was a child of the '60s, so it was the Beatles, well, Elvis, which is, I guess, he started in the '60s, '70s, whatever, but she always had music on, but the first. It's kind of embarrassing, but the first song that ever grabbed me when I was a kid was what's his name? Rhinestone Cowboy.
Oh shit!
Is it Glenn Campbell? I think
so.
You know better than
sounds
I
right.
would.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Rhinestone
Yeah, I remember.
Cowboy.
Yeah, that was Urban Cowboy, the movie.
Maybe.
I think so.
I'm not sure, but could be. But I mean,
I'll get research on that later.
Yeah, you got to have a link or something. This is important.
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
No, so yeah, that was the first thing that really grabbed me because growing up back then, boys my age growing up, it's like we would watch all these westerns, and I was a cowboy. I wanted to be a cowboy when I grew up, you know. So that was the first thing that grabbed me like that, as far as music wise. But then as I got older, let's see, actually not that much older, I had a friend move in the neighborhood, and he was huge Kiss fan, and he had all the vinyls and stuff, and just the visual of it was so cool. It was so like mystique about it, you know.
Yeah.
So, but I always dug the sound of the guitar, and I always thought, you know, wow, that's so cool. It sounds so difficult. Like that, I'm not a musician in my head. That's what I thought. But as time went on, I got into heavier stuff. He actually introduced me a few years later into Metallica and Misfits. And I bought a guitar from a friend of mine, and I was like, well, I'm going to just piddle with it. I probably won't learn anything too spectacular. So
Right.
I think the first song I learned was either, I think it was Cold Gin by Kiss or War Machine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was Cold Gin, though. But yeah, so I was just piddling around with that. But then in high school, I met Andre Raka.
Our boy.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Dre. So we were both into the same stuff, you know, Metallica and heavier stuff. Thrash was big at that time.
Yeah.
Testament and Exodus. I remember he had an Exodus shirt he wore to school all the time. So back then, let's see, they come out with those tab books,
Mm-hmm.
and I got Master of Puppets, and I was like, you know, before that I had a couple of books. There was no internet back then, but I got some guitar books, and it was like these blues scales, you know, pentatonic, like everybody learns their first scale. So then when I got the Metallica book, I was like piddling with the solos, and I was like, well, this stuff looks familiar. I said, there ain't no way Kirk Hammett is doing a bunch of blues stuff.
Yeah.
But sure he was. So I was like, well, I think I can do this, you know. So basically that's how I learned to play lead guitar, just from the tab books. And then me and Dre jammed a little bit. We didn't have a real band. We just had a couple of friends we'd mess around with. But then later on, I guess, well, I had joined bands previously, but he had got married and had a child and all that. And then we started hanging out again. That's when we started Soul Dredge first. We did that for a while. Then,
one of my favorite bands that you ever put together, man.
Yeah, it's cool. We kind of drew our influences from the NOLA stuff. I mean, I got to say, we were the first ones around here that I knew of doing the kind of Southern metal stuff. And we did that for a while. Then we broke up. Then we started a Graveyard Blues, and he played bass originally. And Thomas Colley was the drummer in that band. He was Forming the Void.
Forming the Void.
Yeah, and
White Light Cemetery.
White Light Cemetery. Yeah.
Yep.
So we did that for a while, and then Dre got bored with that. So in between that, I mean, I played bass in Sleeping Village, which I think, from what I hear, they might be getting back together.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So but I wasn't a good bass player, man. I just followed the guitar. So then what happened? Let's see.
Pepera was in that band.
Yeah, yeah.
Phil Pepera.
Yeah. And then the lead guitar player from Sleeping Village started a band called 3 for 5. It was like they had originals, but we do like classic rock stuff. And they needed a guitar player, and he knew me from before, you know. So I joined that band, and that's when I really had to start learning to play lead guitar. It pretty much forced me to learn lead guitar.
Right.
So I learned a lot in that band. learn about more dynamics playing blues. Back in our big thing was when the verse is going on, you back off on the guitar. When the chorus kicks in, you step on the gas. So that taught me a lot about dynamics when playing. So that eventually, let's see what happened. I think, believe it or not, Andre stole the drummer, which was Mitch Creelo.
Uh-huh.
Mitch, he was in 4-Bolt Maine with Burt Fackler and those guys.
I don't think I do.
You don't know Mitch?
No.
Yeah, so they started like some nuclear blues stuff, which was, I think, Diabolero or something.
Wait, was
like
that the same Mitch who was from Abbeville?
I think so. No.
No.
I think you're thinking of Mitch
No.
Harrington.
Yes, Mitch Harrington.
No,
That's who I'm
Mitch
thinking
was
about.
from Welch,
Okay.
I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. So they started this nuclear blues type stuff, Diabolero, I believe it was called. It went through few different names, which he ended up having. Let's see, 10 Ton Junkie, which was, I don't know if you heard them, but
Yeah,
that was Dre and one of the guys from Post, I believe, was playing guitar, and yeah. So, but anyway, so let's see what else happened then. After 3 for 5. Wow. I don't know. I think I was in limbo for a little while.
So many bands.
Yeah.
Right.
It's hard.
So much time.
Yeah.
You kind of lose track after a while, especially like when you move areas.
Right.
Like I started off in like old New Orleans scene, then like home of Thibodeau, and then bam popped up over here, and it's just like all those bands, all of that. You got to keep up with members. You got to keep up with just your whole track record, and it's really hard.
Right.
I think you forget a lot of stuff.
Yeah. You need to get into the history. With
Oh
him.
yeah, he's next.
Yeah.
No, keep going, bro. The story's way more interesting than mine.
Yeah. So let's see. Let's see. Okay. So what was after that? Sunday Morning Head Count, which was the drummer. He was a drummer in Sleeping Village. He messaged me one day. He's like, I want to do some jamming. So we got together and did originals and covers. Some radio stuff, not too much, but I mean, we still did like some Pantera and Metallica, whatnot, but we put out 4 records. So, I really progressed a lot in that because I was the only guitar player. So I had to fill a lot of space, which that helped me progress a lot too. So we did that for a while, and then it just kind of lost steam. We did that for a good while.
Yeah, y'all had a good run with Sunday Morning Head Count.
Probably maybe 10 years or so.
Yeah.
11 years. Something like that.
Y'all definitely had some staying power in Lafayette, man.
Yeah.
I mean, like clubs were like wanting y'all to play. I remember I think y'all was featured on the radio a few times too.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, we did. Yeah. So we did that about 10, 11 years, and then it just kind of lost steam. The drummer didn't want to do it anymore. He just wanted to do something else. So then he contacted me not too long after we split up, and he was like, look, I got something in the works, some 80s stuff. So that was Thunder Kiss. So that we did that for a few years, and then it just kind of fell apart.
Yeah.
We just had a few bad gigs, and we were kind of ready to move on. So right after that's when Mac contacted me. I mean, the timing was just like, there's just one to the next. And
right.
So here we are. It's been fun, man.
I just have to ask you, man, and you can't put any Pantera song in the mix because I know you love Pantera.
I love these questions. Go ahead.
So as whenever you're playing these cover bands, like what was like your like a song that you just like relish playing, like if you had the chance, like, hey, I want to put this cover in the fucking set. Like I love playing it. What is it?
Master of Puppets.
Oh, fuck yeah. Hey.
Yeah. That song, whew, I can't count how many times I've attempted to play that song. That down picking is just a MFer.
Yeah.
and that was the only time when I was in Head Count when I can actually go through the whole song all downstrokes.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really do it now, but and it was like holding on for dear life. It was like nails on the back of the train, just barely hanging on.
Yeah.
But that song just got everything in it, you know. So yeah, that was definitely one of the favorites. Besides since you said I can't play Pantera, but say Pantera. But
You could, I mean, you could do Pantera.
Yeah,
you could.
well.
You could.
We did Domination and
Yeah.
Cemetery Gates,
Mhm.
which were
Yeah,
awesome
and I
too.
remember you like sending me a video of you like rehearsing it by yourself at your house, and bro, it's like you are a student of the game. You always
Yeah.
been that way. You fucking put your heart and soul in learning every fucking song,
Yeah.
and I mean, reflection for reflection, just like nailing every goddamn note in the solos. It's fucking. I mean, if in my opinion, and this is my humble opinion. There are like maybe, I mean, yeah, Zach Wilde is doing his thing with the current lineup, but if they ever needed a fucking backup to play like New Orleans or some shit, I would be picketing for fucking Jason Birdman Landry.
Fuck yeah.
Like, I mean, like, dude,
And all
you
them cats,
you don't have to go far.
and all them cats are like, "Who the hell is that?"
Give him a guitar and let him play, goddammit.
Yeah.
Nah, I mean, yeah, Zach's awesome, but in my opinion, they should have got Attila Voros. Zach actually went on record saying when he learned the Pantera songs, he went on YouTube to learn them from Attila and Ola England.
No.
Those two guys, but they don't have the star power
They don't.
that Zach has, and they were so close.
Yeah.
Him and Don was so close. I love Zach. I think he's the wrong man for the job as far as the playing goes.
Yeah.
Marketing, I mean, yeah. They're making $1 billion bucks.
It's like the people in corporate America say it's good for the optics.
Yeah. Well, I went to see him. A buddy of mine, Tyler Burley, had brought me. He had an extra ticket, so we went to the Woodlands and saw him. And Charlie freaking nailed everything. Phil, Rex, of course. Zach did pretty good. He went off the rails a little bit, but not too much. He seemed to be pretty respectful.
He seems like a guitar player that just has to have his own flavor on everything.
Yeah.
And I totally get that. I'm not knocking him for it, but there's if you're gonna pay tribute to a band, pay tribute to your brother like that.
Right.
Try to
cut down on the pinch harmonic.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, people say
honesty.
I see people saying that all the time. Like, what do you expect? I mean, Zach's going to put his own flavor on and all. It's like, well, Charlie didn't.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Charlie said, he said he's playing Vince's exact drum kit. He said, because if I would have a bigger kit, I would be tempted to add stuff, and I didn't want to add anything.
Yeah.
You're right.
So why are they giving Zach a pass? I don't know. I shouldn't be even getting into all this. It's been so controversial. Yeah, but I went and I enjoyed it. I mean, they sounded freaking killer. The sound. I mean,
that's everything. Yeah, everyone that I've talked to that's gone to these shows. I mean, they fucking kick ass. I mean, you just look at the crowds and seeing what they're doing. I mean, it's like vintage Pantera to them. So, but anyway, what I was wanting to say. In regards to your story, though, Jason, is I mean, you've been in a slew of cover bands. What is something that you want to do as far as like your own artistic vision that you haven't like done yet?
Jeez, wow, that's a good question. Like I said, I'm gonna get my jam room set up, and as far as a vision, I don't know, man. Just I'm doing some stuff with Lonnie. In fact, I talked to Miles, the singer, last night. He's a singer for Absalom, which represent
Absalom.
Yeah,
Homer.
I talked to him last night, so we just kind of playing it by ear and feeling it out, and we got some good stuff happening, I think. So we recorded a 3-song demo. Wayne Porsche out there in Thibodeau recorded us. So that should be coming out pretty soon. Miles is working on some more of the vocals and lyrics and stuff.
He's a hell of a vocalist too.
Oh God, yeah. That Weedian thing that came out not too long ago. He's on like 3 or 4 bands on that record.
Oh wow.
Like, yeah.
Right.
He was on Gravechild, Absalom, Cyanide Smile, and I think one other.
Damn.
Yeah. And also we have Dave Crochet from Youngsville. I think he was in a band with Shay Bearden a long time ago. Paradox, I believe they were called.
What's he play?
Bass.
Bass. Okay.
Yeah. Good bass player.
Slap it a bass.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So yeah, just that stuff. And then when we get to doing some originals with these guys, man, I'm looking forward to what's gonna happen, you know.
Yeah, because I know you're a huge fan of the Misfits.
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah.
Sam Hain as
Yeah.
well. I mean, everything that Glenn Danzig had touched, that he was
yeah.
involved in. I mean, you were all about it. Still all about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All three of us went
Definitely.
big time hardcore into that. They went to see Misfits reunion thing.
4 times.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was a good time, sir.
Yeah.
If they come again to like around New Orleans or Houston, I will go.
Oh yeah,
We'll
I need to
that
go too.
next
Because
one.
the last time I saw any version of the Misfits, it was back in 1999. I was still in the military. I had a weekend off, and me and a buddy of mine, Kurt Amaker, who is a brilliant fucking graphic artist, he actually did some novel work for Danny Filth and Cradle of Filth,
Oh, wow.
and their comic books and shit. Their graphic novels, I should say.
Yeah.
He and I, we had just met. And he was like, "Dude, you want to like get a rental car and go down to L.A.? Because like we were in Camp Pendleton,
Yeah.
California, you know, and we're both broken at this point. I'm
Uh-huh.
still in a cast,
Oh wow.
and he had some type of I want to say back issue or something like that, if I remember correctly. But we were both hurt, and he said, "Why don't we just rent a car, man, and hop on down to fucking Anaheim, where Universal Studios was, because Glenn Danzig had his first Blackest of the Black tour and festival, and that's where I saw fucking Opeth for the first time.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
Lacuna Coil was
Love
there.
Opeth.
Yeah, Opeth played and just blew everyone's fucking minds, dude.
Yeah.
And and just put everyone on notice at that concert.
That just jarred a memory. You were at one of those concerts and you called me. It was it was like right before the show started. I don't remember who it was. Was it the Misfits? I don't remember who it was. But it was a Misfits.
And Super Joint was there.
Yeah,
Super Joint played because
call me. You're like, hey, bro, I'm fixing to see freaking Danzig and shit.
Yeah, man, because like Danzig as a solo artist was playing, and he fucking like threw everyone for a loop. So after Danzig finished their set, fucking Doyle and Jerry only come on stage for an impromptu fucking Misfits reunion, and they played fucking Death Comes Ripping. And,
Wow.
and Phil Anselmo was doing guest vocals.
Wow.
Like he just came on the stage and was like, Death Comes Ripping.
That's fucking aggressive.
Dude, I gotta say something about that. I think that album was Earth AD.
Yeah.
It does not get enough love, man.
It doesn't.
Everybody does the
Mhm.
freaking Walk Among Us cover stuff. Man, freaking Earth AD is my favorite. And Wolf's Blood, man, it's just so freaking aggressive and pissed off and just mean.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I love the Happy Misfits stuff. Don't get me wrong, but freaking Earth AD, bro, rip your back out.
Yeah.
True to life horror. They went from like cartoon horror to true to life horror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and Spot, who was involved with Black Flag, he actually produced that album. And Glenn was not happy with the recordings.
Really?
Not necessarily the speed, because I mean the speed is
The
speed.
production.
Yeah, exactly.
The
The
engineering.
production. He didn't like the vocals. He said some things were too in and out. But I agree. Brilliant fucking recording.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Love it, man.
Yeah.
And speaking of Black Flag, we're going to see him in Baton Rouge in December, right?
Yeah.
They're playing at Chelsea's?
Yep.
I assume. Yeah.
Black Flag and the Queers. It's gonna be an awesome
Fucking
fucking
hey,
show.
man.
Crazy cool.
Old school.
Old school shit.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's gonna be a time to have.
Yeah. So my man, how'd you get involved with all these guys?
Oh wow. How far you want to go back?
Oh, dude, go back.
Dude, you need to go way back with him.
Let's go way
Seriously.
back. Let's
He's
go-
got,
yeah, go
he's
further
got
than
some.
that.
Let's
he's
go
got
way
some
back.
good
Where you
history.
from?
Okay.
How's your mom and them?
How's your mom?
She's good, bruh. She's in Sunset.
Oh shit.
Oh shit, boy. Pretty much grew up in the West Bank of the New Orleans area. And
We're talking about Gretna, Marrero.
Marrero.
That's what I'm talking
Marrero,
about, son.
bruh. Right off of Barataria.
Shit, yeah.
In the Hillcrest neighborhood, yeah.
Oh damn.
And
I know where you at.
yeah.
I know.
Right on Bryant Drive. So we were involved. We had these two guys that were like older brothers to us, Roger and Kevin, and they were like older brothers to us, and they pretty much got us into like Kiss and Van Halen and all this other stuff. So we started listening to that, and as their music developed harder and heavier, ours did too. So the guy Roger played guitar, and we tried to start a band with him. We were a lot younger than him, and he would criticize us and all this other shit. You know, that's expected. We're just kids. But we needed that type of discipline.
Yeah.
So we all got a band together, but Roger just kept playing the same riff over and over, like just kind of galloping on the guitar. And we just wanted to sit and write stuff. Long story short, all the neighborhood kids started a band. Most of them quit. Then I met Andre Karst. Andre Karst is Dre. Dre played for fucking War Beast. He played bass for War Beast when he moved to Dallas.
Toured with War Beast.
Damn.
Yeah, he toured. They opened up for Down. They toured
Yeah.
the whole fucking Europe with Down. So Dre and Bobby Badgeron, Paranoid.
Yeah, Paranoid.
You know Bobby?
Bobby. He's another guy that influenced this podcast. Dude.
Me and Bobby went our first band together.
No shit.
No shit. SIK, Silicone Impregnated Crunch. I was 14 fucking years old, dude. I was like a little kid and a teenager.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to be involved in that. I went to one fucking show, and that was like the old Soylent Green with Glenn Rambo.
Yeah.
Crowbar when they were called the Slugs.
Yep.
And we all became good friends. In fact, those two bands became my fucking mentors, big time. So I joined SIK, played with SIK for a while, and then a band we opened up for earlier was called The Detriments.
Yeah.
The Detriments were a hardcore-based New Orleans band, but they sounded like everything that I personally loved. Sick of It All, Agnostic Front, fucking Gorilla Biscuits. I loved all this shit, and that's what they were doing. In fact, the singer Donnie Saucier, who's actually from Thibodeau, he lived in Maryland for a while and then came back and kind of brought this amongst the New Orleans scene, and we all kind of grabbed it and embraced it. So I joined the Detriments, toured with them. We actually toured with the Slugs when they were Crowbar. I mean, before they were Crowbar. Sorry.
Right.
And just those shows back then were just fucking amazing, man. I mean, like the Jefferson Lions Club, Storyville Jazz Hall. This was like 89 was the first show I played, and kind of lost interest when the grunge thing came out.
Yeah.
In fact, when the Detriments broke up because the singer became a police officer in Chalmette. And at the time period, it was hard for me to get back and forth because I was still a kid, and my family moved to Houma, which is like an hour away.
That's where I was born, sir.
Oh, cool. All right. No shit.
Hell yeah. My family's from fucking Dulac.
Dude, I was in a band.
Coco Dre.
Right. I was in a band called Chapter 13.
Uh-huh.
We would practice in fucking Dulac.
No shit.
The J&M Grocery. It was an abandoned grocery store. You know what I'm talking
I
about?
know exactly what you're talking about.
And we would run a line because it had no electricity in it. So we'd run a line to it. And the guy, I forgot his name, was a fucking sweetheart. Big freaking Native American dude. He's cool as fuck. His name was Joe Lodry. And he'd come out and like open up the building with us, for us. And he was like in his whitey tighties and his white shrimp boots. And y'all ready, bro? I was like, all right, yeah, we ready.
I know Joe. I know what you're talking about.
Great fucking human being, man.
Dude.
He played in a cover band too. I think they would practice in there. They would play
shit.
at it was on Grand Caillou Road. What was the name of that fucking bar, dude?
Yeah,
Frontiers.
It's Frontiers, at the J&M, and right across the street from that was was their public park.
Right.
They had the swimming pool and shit right there.
Right. Oh yeah, ate at Sienna's a few times, dude. Love fucking dude. Like I know a lot of. In fact, Tillis Vernon was our drummer for a while, who's now like in this.
Dude, Tillis was fucking best friends with my late cousin Archie Soleil. Archie, like
I know a
Tillis,
lot of Soleils, dude.
That's my family.
Fucking A. You know Dale Soleil?
Yeah, I know Dale. That's my cousin. And fuck, and then Tillis, that dude is responsible. He doesn't know have any idea like where I'm at or how I grew up, because when I was so little, Tillis, my grandma let my oldest cousin Archie have a half pipe in the yard.
Wow.
And fucking Tillis was just fucking ripping it. And like him and my older cousins, and like that's where like life began for a young Mo Soleil, and like the metal story just started right there.
Nice.
Please continue though.
Oh no, it's cool. So we eventually I kind of got out of I got out of rock because grunge was kind of sad and kind of pussy to me.
Yeah.
So gangster rap looked more aggressive. It looked masculine. It was fucking pure fucking testosterone.
Yeah.
So I got involved in gangster rap. And we recorded a few albums, like maybe 2 albums, but back then all that material was lost because back then, like when you go in the studio, they give you like a reel and a DAT tape.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like you recorded on a CD or a tape. But I got out of that fucking shit quick. There was when you pass on the east side, before they had the fucking bridge over the intercoastal canal,
Yeah.
they had the two little bridges, the two little small tow bridges. Remember that?
Yep.
Well, you keep going right when you get to the east side, you keep going all the way down. Right before you get to Village East, they had that rap club.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
And this was before the Ray Nagin comment. It was called Chocolate City.
Yeah.
And we performed there one night. And some dude in Mechanicville, I think on East Street, remember how infamous East Street was?
Yeah.
He did a fucking drive-by like around the area, and they were
Goddamn.
hiding the bike. One-eyed Kirk on the bar. Cool fucking guy, but got shot in the face.
One-eyed Kirk.
One-eyed, swear to God.
I believe you.
Yeah.
So they hid the bike, and like everybody's getting crazy. And I think it was we looked a little different.
Yeah.
So tensions were growing. Maybe that wasn't the reason, but tensions were growing, and some altercation happened, and it almost ended with me getting shot in the fucking face.
Yeah.
So
no one likes getting shot in the face.
Yeah, and so I got back in the rock. Listening to old tapes that we did. I'm listening to like the old Slugs demo, the old Soylent Green demo, the old New Religion, all these bands.
Shout out Tommy Buckley.
Fucking a great fucking drummer, dude. And I was like, I have to get back involved in this. But it's not necessarily like riding a bike. You have to go back and practice some more. In fact, I lost a lot of speed. I lost a lot of technique, and I had to relearn this. So I got with these other guys, and I got with these guys that live on Henderson, right by the high rise. Remember that?
Yep.
So I got with that band, and they started showing me what's going on around here. And they were like, dude, I know you were part of New Orleans, but look what's going on right here, right now.
Yeah.
And he put in one tape, and I was like, God damn, it was a fucking demo tape of fucking Acid Bath. And I was like, Jesus Christ, those guys are from here?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Blew my fucking mind. Saw them at the Municipal Auditorium, not in Houma.
Yeah.
Not too far after that, with fucking Fractured. Remember
Damn.
Fractured?
Yeah. That's
They
an
eventually
old
became
name.
Slow the
Slow
Knife.
the Knife.
Yeah, in fact, their bass player plays in Acid Bath now.
Alex Bergeron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool fucking cat, man. But it's hard to remember what he looked like because he always had that fucking clown mask on. Like I remember when we played with him at Jarrell's and he had that fucking clown mask on and he wouldn't fucking take it off for some odd reason. But yeah, that was showing me all this stuff that's around here. So yeah, I saw Acid Bath with Fractured. I think they were called Fuel back then, and that the copyright issues, they had to change it and eventually go to Slow the Knife. And Choke was opening up. And like watching these three bands, it was like, fuck, this is the time to get back right now.
Yeah.
Right.
And I did. And then, I don't know, things were just kind of falling apart. We play here and there. We started Chapter 13. That's when we practiced in Dulac with Tillis. In fact, Tillis is now in a band with Jeff McCarty from Fractured and Agents of Oblivion.
Yeah.
They're in like this big cover band. They like back up. I don't want to name any artists, but I'm pretty sure they back up like big fucking pop artists when they pass through New Orleans.
No shit.
They're that fucking good.
That's crazy.
Because I mean, you heard Tillis play keyboard.
Hell
Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
He's
And
amazing.
The drums, he even plays fucking guitar like Hendrix because he's left-handed. So he flips it over. Great fucking musician. And at the time, Justin Robinson from the Amazing Nuns, he was moving and he's like, and I was kind of sick of it going back and forth to New Orleans. And I was like, kind of want to try something new. And I did. And he convinced me. And he and I were going to start a band, but then we kind of just fell apart. And then right after that, hanging out at the Strip, hanging out at the area, you're going to hear about Mystic Fix. They are the most fucking notorious band in fucking Lafayette. And I really wanted to be a part of that. But I saw them on Halloween. And then a few nights later, they kept saying how the drummer was in jail. So they had another guy playing fucking drums. And I remember a couple weeks later, I'm at the fucking Loose Caboose and I'm standing up against the wall. This is probably like early 2000. And a fucking bottle flies up against the fucking wall. The fuck? And I was like, turn around. I was like, what the fuck? And I was with some acquaintances. I didn't really know the guys that well. They're just acquaintances to me. And I see the guy that threw the bottle and I run up on him. And I'm like, yo, man, you got a fucking problem? I'll fucking drag you out here and fucking beat the fuck. I'm going off. And he was so cool. Fucking Cody Clean looks at me and he goes, cool down, hot dog. I'll buy you a drink.
Buy you a drink.
I was like, what the fuck? Cool. They throw a bottle at me, you fucking buffoon.
Talk about not expect that.
Welcome to the Strip.
Yeah.
Look at the Strip.
So like suddenly like my fist went unclenched and I grabbed the fucking beer. And he told me how he just got out of the can. And I was like, yeah, I heard of you. The stories all around the fucking Strip. I mean, Mystic Fix is like the fucking soap opera of the fucking Strip.
Yeah.
And he got me in. Shane was out and I got in. And I was in for about a year and then not in. And started a few other bands. Like I had a fucking funk band called Aristotle's. I was in a band from Abbeville called Pizza Crudo, which is also kind of funk with like a female lead singer. And after the whole Mystic Fix fiasco, in and out, me and Mac really became good friends. And I joined Switchblade Click while I was in the Aristotles fall apart. I stayed with Switchblade Click as long as we can, but there was like this long in and out hiatus. Like we played and we wouldn't play for a long period of time, then we would.
Right.
And then Julie started having health problems. And then that's pretty much where we're at now.
Damn, man. That's fucking wild shit.
That's definitely a condensed version there.
Yeah.
Got to.
Yeah.
Man, shit, that 55 minutes went so goddamn quick.
It did.
God. It's always a party whenever you got good people with you doing this shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all know the drill, man. I need to know 6 albums that you just can't live without. House is on fire. You got to make quick decision. Which 6 albums are like coming with you?
Slayer, South of Heaven. Slayer, Rain in Blood. Slayer, Seasons in the Abyss. Black Sabbath, We Sold Our Soul for Rock and Roll. The Misfits, Walk Among Us.
Oh, dude, there you go.
I dig it though.
Suicidal Tendencies, Institutionalized.
Hell yeah, dude.
Okay. It'd have to be a Pantera record, and that's a hard one to decide. I'd probably have to say Cowboys from Hell, because that was like when I really got into them. That album just changed everything, I think. Probably Earth AD.
There you go.
God. Maybe let's see. Carcass Heartwork.
Oh, that's a good album, man.
That is a killer
fucking album.
Yeah. That's 3, right? Yeah. Danzig's first record. That's 4, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Geez, what else? The Acid Bath demo.
Yeah.
Not Kite String.
Yeah.
The demo, which I guess became Hymns of the Needle Freak.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That one, the demo, which to me is, I like it much better.
Myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. One more, right?
Right, more.
Gosh, let's see. That's a hard one.
The house is burning.
I know.
It's burning.
It's
Your
burning.
ass is literally on fire.
Yeah.
Your naked ass is red hot.
Oh yeah.
Jeez, I don't know. Maybe Peace Cells.
Peace Cells?
Megadeth, something like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Something real thrashy. Hell yeah, man. I love it. Fuck, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, looking at you, sir.
Okay, I'm going to cheat a little bit.
Go ahead.
Because I'm going to grab my entire Sam Hain box set.
Yeah.
So I'm going to grab the whole box set, and that counts as one.
Okay.
That's one.
Okay. That's fair.
I'll rewrap it. I'll put like cellophane on the motherfucker. That's one.
All right.
Jeez. I got to go with Beatles, the White Album. Greatest hit, Sly and the Family Stone.
We're at 3.
Sorry. Trying. It's like all these different genres are like, like jabbing me right now.
Hey, I love it, dude. I love it.
Jeez. Oh, fuck. Think, Cutty, think. Just got to put a metal album in there. Yeah. Did you what Sabbath album you said?
We Sold Our Soul for Rock and Roll.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the self-titled debut.
Oh yeah.
Damn, I should have had a Sabbath too.
And got one more.
What more?
Probably the most fucking brutal of them all. Here we go. Dolly Parton. No.
Dolly.
She's awesome. She's
good
awesome.
people.
Roy Rogers.
She's got a great park too. Good roller coasters, good water rides. For the last one, I'd probably have to go with probably Black Flag, My War.
Oh yeah, that's fucking kids love that shit. All right.
Nice.
Man, it's been a fucking absolute pleasure to have you guys here and having the first band collectively to be on camera.
Thank you for having us.
Awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank y'all so much for the
We
stories,
like to make
man.
history.
Yep. Oh yeah. We'll make all the history.
Thank you,
Mac,
brother.
Cutty.
Absolute pleasure, man.
My show.
Dude, so so if you want to be part of the conversation, please send me a DM on Instagram or Facebook. I have an email address, mo@talesfromtheriff.org. And We have merch available at PM Star Promotions. We have our own collection of Tales from the Riff t-shirts. If you're down with that, y'all got anything new coming up that y'all want to promote?
Yeah, we got some shows coming up. November 23rd.
23rd.
November 23rd with the Loose Caboose. January 25th, we're in Lake Charles at the Panoramic Music Hall. And then February 1st, we're at the Pit.
At the Pit.
Yes.
And we just got a new video that came out too. Slow What is the name of the song. It's on YouTube, so search. Or
Corey Harrington edited it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all have your own like LA Phantoms channel? Okay. Well, just send me the link and I'll
Sure thing.
I'll definitely get everything rolling in the captions and all that good shit.
Right on.
Again, guys, thank you. This has been fucking fun. I love it. And I can't wait to see y'all guys in action. It's been long overdue.
Right.
And we're going to make it happen.
Thank you, bro.
Make it
I
happen.
appreciate it, man.
Make it
bro.
happen.
All right. LA fans, everyone.
Peace out.